Hi guys, welcome to Kaylee's Book Talk. This video is going to be about a little book haul that I did at Barnes & Noble today. I got two series of a manga that I would like to get into because of course I started watching their anime a little bit, that I would like to start reading their mangas as well to see the differences, because I know some books have differences than their show and or movie, and I would like to see if the manga lines up with the show. So because I know some mangas have animes that go with them and some don't, or in the process of thinking about doing. So I know One Piece is one of them because my husband loves it. So of course the first book series that I got was the Apothecary series. Of course I got 1 and 2 so to start with. So from my understanding, from what I got from the anime a little bit, is a young woman basically being taken into somewhere else because she was like a laundry maid, or I think, and then she ended up getting asked to come in and help with a couple of heirs, I think, to help get them better and everything, and also ask questions like, how did you know this? Because I think before, from what I understand, before she was a laundry maid for, I think, the palace, the Imperial Palace or whatever. Imperial Palace. She was, of course, she was trained and studied herbal medicine. So she kind of because of course women in that age, that time frame and everything, was told like, hey, like, you're going to be considered a witch. I know, of course, with American history and European history is most likely going to be the same for Asian history as well. So that they could be considered a witch, and of course being witches, and of course as a woman studying and trained in herbal medicine is of course frowned upon. But of course she studied in the art of herbal medicine. She kind of anonymously put a note somewhere, or said, hey, give this to so and so, and they would go send and take it to her anonymously, and that's how they ended up finding out that the imperial heirs were sick and everything, and at least one of them was saved, but the other wasn't. So of course she ended up getting kind of asked like, hey, like, can you be this? And of course she ended up doing that, and yeah, that's why I said I haven't really quite gotten into it, but that's from what my understanding of that is, that she was like starting to like calculate in her head what was going on with the heirs, because the heir was of course sick and the other one was also sick, and she was trying to figure out what was wrong with them, and of course she ended up sitting here giving that. So I'm gonna, of course this is gonna be on one of my TBRs to read at least the first 2 to see if I want to continue with the series, with the manga series. So that TBR video will probably be a little bit further down the road. But the second series, which I've also gotten into, is My Happy Marriage. Of course I watched a little bit of, I think, the first season and half of the second season of the anime, and I don't know which one's the first one. This was of course with the young girl, this is basically somewhat of a Cinderella retelling. Yes, a Cinderella inspired slow burn historical romance with paranormal twist to it in the Tashio era Japan. which I'm of course with the anime, I love the storyline. I don't know how different the manga is to it. I don't know if it's accurate to what it is, but of course every Cinderella retelling always comes with, of course, the parents are happy, the biological mother ends up getting sick and dies, so of course the young girl is always ended up ends up being the apple, and of course the daughter is the apple of her father's eye and everything, and then her father ends up remarrying, and of course the stepmother is always not so happy with the daughter, and of course the stepmother always comes with one or two with children of her own. So with this one, of course, that all happened, and then but with this one, they of course have powers and everything to have like supernatural, paranormal powers, and she didn't, so of course that was frowned upon. And of course with this one, both her dad and the stepmother resented her for it, and of course the daughter of the stepmother was the apple, now is the apple of the father's eye and everything, and so they ended up doing something, I want to say, of course, then she didn't get, of course, the powers that her father had thought she would get. She of course became the maid and everything, obviously, with of course one of the main characters. She, at the time, she didn't know. She was blessed with an unusual sense of power and everything, and she didn't know she had it at the time either, and neither did her stepmother or her father. So, and then she ends up either taking her stepsister's place, or her father ended up saying, like, you know what, you're worthless, I'm gonna marry you off. So of course that's usual for that era, or yeah, around that time period, is for sorry, there was a book, was usual for that time frame. So so with that being said, when she was married off to, I want to say, this handsome man, I forgot what his name is. I know his last name, Kyoka Kudo. I know his last name is Kudo. I know how to pronounce that. It's Kudo. He is also in the military, and he is, of course, has really good powers. And then during that time of her stay with him, of course, she ends up finding her powers and everything, and of course she's trying to see her and know how to control it, versus where when you find out at a young age and learn from there and everything. So with that being said, as well as the Apothecary Diaries, I would like to put this on my TBR as well throughout the year, obviously, to of course read the whole series to understand it a little bit more, and then of course I'll move on to the anime, restart both animes and watch it from there. Or, you know, I think each book coincides with each season. If you guys can give me that answer in the comments, please. I'm not gonna, my feelings aren't gonna get hurt if I said some things wrong or anything. But also if you guys have any recommendations on anime or manga that I should get into, please let me know as well in the comments, because I would like to start getting into manga as well, which I think I would like to do, as well as, like, of course, the regular books that are out there, like the fiction, historical fiction, romance fiction, all that, and everything. So I hope that you guys like this video with it concluding. Like I said earlier, if you have any manga or anime series I should get into, please put it in the comments. And let me know if I said some things wrong. Please let me know in the comments. I am new to all this, so I'm of course still learning. So I hope you guys have a great afternoon. But with my next video, it will be part 2 of this, of the 52 Book Club's Reading Journal 2025, which I'll be finishing up that video here soon. So, but I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.